Hello everyone, this is LW Gaming and welcome back for another Future of Langrisser installment. Today's ins this time's installment is for June 2023 edition. And by the time of the recording, today is May 30th, 2023. I'll be scheduling this video for the first day of June when it comes along around the corner in a few days. Today's video, we're going to talk about the two new heroes that are coming to Langrisser M in Global in the near future. But however, for CN, they'll get it after a few more weeks, depending on what time they have right now. So, anyways, let's get into what they are and see what we have in store for them. So, anyways, they are the new heroes, and these are their factions. So we got Precia or Precia. I don't know how you can pronounce that. And there's also Roland. Precia is a Lancer and Holy physical unit. And what's interesting about her is that she has more than one revives. So yeah, she might be a tank or I don't know. It might be something else, something like Poyol, I would say. Like she's more like a bruiser, I would think, but with multiple revives. I don't know. I could be wrong about that, but we'll see how the game goes from here. Because it's most likely that she might be a tank, but other than that, she might not be. And then she's gonna be part of the protagonist, Princess Alliance, and Mythical Realm. And then we got Roland. He is gonna be a mage, holy class magical unit, and he's just a typical mage, so nothing special about about him. But we'll see how they work when they come out in CN. And he's gonna be part of Protagonist, Legion of Glory, and ULS Legends. And none of these guys are faction buffers, by the way. So don't worry about if there are any new faction buffers because they're not one of them. Okay, and this is the difficult part. I had to figure it out because apparently casting patterns aren't actually officially leaked by the leakers in CN. So I actually did ask some people around and see if they have any information about them. But thankfully, at least one of them know who they are and what they do. So I'm gonna credit those who have helped me in the Discord server because I actually do need some understanding of what they do because translating them from Chinese to English is actually not an easy job. Just to let you know. Anyway, so here we are. We got some information about who they were. So anyways, first up we got Rainforce. Attack plus 8%. Or actually wait, is it 8? No, I'm sorry, not 8%. Attack plus 5%. Uh, and also 2 stacks of his otherworldly force will be maintained if Talon's 7 otherworldly force act again effect is activated. So when you activate the act again on him, he'll keep his 2 stacks of his otherworldly force, which is pretty nice because it allows you to get your act again much faster than he normally would. So on top of all this, his casting pattern allows him to be able to act again as long as he hit 5 enemies. Every time when he proc this, every time when he has this casting pattern skill enabled, which he will have for the rest of the battle. So what that means is that he's going to be even more useful in DE, but by this alone. Like I'm not joking. Like look at this. Like when he did his act again, he'll keep 2 of his otherworldly force stacks. So that means that he'll get his 7 back on the next turn instead of just waiting one additional turn. So yeah, it is pretty good in his own right. That is. Next up, we got Betty. I believe not many people use Betty because of how underwhelming she is when it comes to PvP. Although the only PvP mode she's good at is AI Arena. Anyway, she's getting the casting pattern treatment in this update. So, anyways, attack and defense plus 5%. And also, additionally, what her casting pattern skill does is that it triggers her talent's AoE range radius by 1. So basically, she'll deal AoE, but much bigger radius, which makes her somewhat better than before. That is. And then next up, we got Epsilon. Yes, Epsilon is getting one of the casting pattern skills, And his is actually quite unique. Crit damage plus 10%, damage dealt plus 20% if Demon Sword's ward is cancelled when receiving damage. So if he loses his shield, he'll deal 20% more damage when he attacks as soon as his shield went down, which is pretty awesome because Epsilon really needed this buff when it comes to the damage dealt. And finally, we got Angelica, one of the founders of the crossovers. I mean, really, she's literally the one who's responsible for those heroes coming from other realms to Langrisser. Anyways, her int increases by 10% when using skill on ally units that contains a buff. There's a 50% chance of that buff have extra one turn duration. This could be useful in some ways, but it's a 50-50 of it from happening. So if you're able to get the bonus buff duration, then great. If not, then oh well, might be just some bad luck they're having. Okay, next up, let's talk about some exclusive equipments. So yeah, exclusive equipments this time goes to Lugner and Julian. So yeah, Lugner, I've used him still in my box, and he is actually pretty good in some scenarios. Whether you're using him for band bait or use him to make your team more annoying to deal with. So anyways, HP plus 10%. When an ally unit dies, the enemy attacker receives 4 stacks of sins. When an enemy has 4 or more stacks of sins, allied holy unit takes 15% less damage. So yeah, as long as your unit is a holy unit, you would take 15% less damage against those with 4 or more sin stacks. So yeah, the more sins they have, the less of a threat they become. So yeah, his headwear is actually pretty solid, not gonna lie. And then what's even more solid is Julian's headwear here. Again, I don't understand what Zilong is doing with the exclusive because nowadays they're now tied to the headwears. So anyways, Julian's headwear increases his HP by 10%. If the enemy soldier's HP is less than 100%, attack range of unit soldiers plus 1. This might affect hero too if it's I don't know because Omega's is a soldier's bonus, but I don't know if this also affects hero as well. But we'll see when he gets on board in global, and I'll correct it if it's wrong. I mean, not in this installment that is because we're not sure 100% what it does, but that's what half of his gear does. And also, after attacking, has a 20% chance to act again. This can be triggered again after 2 turns. So yeah, so Julian's headwear allows him to be able to act again, but with a small percentage, which is 20%, which is not that big. But if you're able to get that act again, prop to Julian, then yeah, he means a big business, and he's not gonna stop until he finishes it. Like my goodness, like if you have Julian's headwear, then you're pretty much a madhouse because you're basically gonna have act again built into your equipment, which is not something that you should joke about because Julian just there to fight, not there to like I would say like just there messing around. That is, like he is not messing around. And also, let's talk about some additional information when it comes to the upcoming banners. So there are 4 banners, but however, I didn't receive any information regarding any upcoming events. But anyways, Poyo has appeared on a radar banner with Michelle. So if you still need Poyo on in global or CN, Poyo is indeed coming back. So don't worry if you missed out on her for the first time. There's also Meteor Strike Destiny banner, which is a new one. Or maybe the existing one from the previous run. This one features McLean, Omega, and Tsubame. Yeah, McLean is actually by far the best unit out there in PvP, so if you manage to get him, then great. Classic Destiny banner featuring Landius, Yulia, and Jugler is also seen in this update. And then finally, Mythical Realm Destiny banner featuring Kruger, Mew, and Azusa. This is the one that we're actually expecting to get this update, and it's actually pretty interesting that they're bringing this banner back for the second time. So anyways, that's about it for this video. So hope you all find this video informative and see you on